Hey everybody, it is day 13, and I wanted to do a little experiment as a way to show an example of what I'm saying with the size difference in these birds. This is Falco, the giantess, and then this is poor little Fifi. I'm not going to leave Falco in here too long because Falco can be kind of mean to smaller chickens, maybe a little more aggressive. But the size difference is staggering. Like, Falco is a full hand of chicken. When you pick Falco up, it is significant. There's significant bird there. Like, if this bird could fly, it would be a significant sized bird. Look at his legs. Giant legs. Oh, come on now. I know, I'm not hurting you, but just for comparison. Like, there's my thumb, and there's his leg. He's huge. Sorry. And the same goes for... Oh, sorry, baby. Oh, the same goes for blackbirds. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. It's a really good song. Hate on the Beatles all you want. It's a great song. Anyway, these guys, huge, magnificent specimens. Got Jack. Jack's looking all right. Jack and Lateralis, beautiful girl. They're on par. They're right next to each other as far as size. Falco is the giantess, along with Fiddle and Faddle. Fiddle and Faddle are really starting to pop a lot of white. I noticed they've got starting to get kind of like grayish sideburns on the sides of their face, almost like they have a mask on. These guys are stressing because the dogs are circling. Oh, gracious. Callie, no. Oh, Falco's going to show off. Says, put me in the box with the preschoolers, will ya? I'm almost in first grade, and here you have it, me in preschool. So yeah, significant difference. I changed out their food just like seriously an hour ago. It was not long ago. I did a little video just a second ago about the difference in texture. The brand that I bought, the non-medicated brand, seems much more cohesive. Like, there doesn't seem to be as much dust in it. And the crumbles just seem firmer. Not really firmer. They're both kind of hard, but they don't break up in your finger as easily. Like, they're not as easily crushed. But they're still pretty hard. I did take the grit out because I didn't want to over harden their crops. Again, I really have no idea if the powder from that chick start that I bought the first time could be causing issues with non-growth, not fully emptying their crop, because their crops they fluctuate as they should, but they don't ever fully empty. Like, sometimes with Mofo, I catch her crop completely empty, and then I caught Felicity's basically empty a couple times, and the same with Parabola. His crop, it seems to be doing all right now, but Fifi is the captain of the SS Struggle. She is struggling. Struggle Bus Captain of the Year. So I'm going to consult with our friends at Rural King on Thursday, day after tomorrow, and see what they say. I did notice today, look right there. Do you see them? Do you see them? Little baby tail feathers on this beautiful little girl. I really, really hope these two make it. I think they're so cute. If they have more sapphire gems when I go, I'm going to get them because they're really, really pretty. I've looked at pictures of them on the intrawebs, and they're very, very pretty little birds. So I'm gonna I think I'm gonna get some more of those if they have them. Her feathers, they're almost turning white at the top, and then they're dark gray. They're getting even grayer than she is on the bottom. The coloring is just really awesome. So much fun. I would recommend anybody that is suffering from any kind of depression or any kind of like lockdown blues, or like, you know, society blues or internet blues or whatever, go out and just get like 3, 4, 5 chickens. Just little chickens. They're they're kind of high maintenance. These guys are, for some reason. I didn't think it would be this difficult. Maybe this is standard, and that's fine. I don't mind it. I really don't. I really enjoy sitting here watching them. If you have seen any of the Doggo versus Drago episodes with Fergus, I was sitting here earlier and I was thinking, you know, the chicks are to me as Drago is to Fergus, because I sit and I watch them just like Fergus sits and watches Drago. So maybe Fergus and I have more in common than I realize. Maybe I'm more canine than human. We won't go any farther with that conversation. I've heard that too many times in my life. Look at those beautiful colors. Just snapping, Felicity. And also Parabola, you know, and I think that I think Fifi has taken top spot for smallest chick, because Parabola has had a little bit of a growth spurt, it looks like. She is the feathers are looking very, very handsome. Very handsome Parabola. It's going to be interesting to see what the final product is if we get that far. Fully prepared, everyone. Fully prepared to say goodbye to any of them at any time. It happens fast, and it's unexpected and unknown, and life goes on. No tail feathers. There is kind of starting to be a little bit of a separation, almost like a little poof that's sticking up from the other poof that, like right there, seems to be a little poofier than the rest, than it was before. And same with her. And of course we saw these little sprouts coming out. Oh yeah. Damn it, I will save these little birds. You will live. Yeah. So I did another thing today that has me questioning life and everything about it. I was hoping that I would have enough bedding to last until Thursday so that I could pick everything up all at once, because as we all know, Rural King gets their trucks in on Thursday. So I was wanting to be able to hold out, but of course no. I do believe at the beginning I was using too much of the bedding. Slacked off on that a lot because it gets changed out so often. It's kind of stupid to put more than just a very thin layer, just enough to cover the bottom. Any leakage or spills, you know, be able to soak that up. So I was running out, and I went ahead and stopped and got some today while I was out, and they were out of what I had previously been purchasing, which was just regular shredded pine. As you can see, the big fluffy stuff that I used to get for my rabbits. That's what they had before. That was the cheapest, and I was familiar with it. So today when I went, they had none of that. So I had to get extra fine shredded pine bedding. I do know that I have heard not to use cedar, which was another option that they had. And there, of course, there was a giant stack of cedar in the larger size shavings, but we don't do cedar. So the extra fine shavings it was. Oh, Fifi, getting so much better. I mean, there's a little bit of she has one every now and again that she doesn't have any peeps. A poop with no peeps. That's what we look for. Anyway, pine bedding. The extra fine shredded is what I went with because it was all they had. Other than the stuff they had was wet. They had one bag that was halfway ripped open that was wet of this shredded stuff, and I thought, I'll go with the extra fine and see how it works. So, the thing with that is the bedding, that it looks to me, I haven't actually opened the bag yet, but it looks to me like it is a very similar shape and form as their food. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, they pick at anything and everything. They will literally pick up little pieces of poo and chase each other thinking that it's a treat. Like they have a worm. It's what it looks like, birds chasing after each other when one of them has a worm and the other ones want it. It's probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen because it's not a worm, it's a piece of poo. Yeah, funny stuff. Anyway, they're going to eat this bedding. I know they're going to. So my theory is that either A, they're going to pass it better than they pass this because it is going to be in smaller chunks or it's going to be easier for them to process, or B, it's going to cause massive issue and I'm going to lose every chick I purchased. You know, there is no in between. It's either bliss or torture, one or the other. We can't have a happy medium. We can't just be at medium. So yeah. So that's the story with day 13, or yeah, day 13. My God, why was I thinking 12 all of a sudden? In the books, we've only got another day, and we get to go see what happens with more chickies. The question, upper management has posed the question, where are these other chicks going to go? And I too had thrown that out there to the board, and so my reply was, well, I have more plastic bins, because apparently I have a problem with collecting plastic bins. Actually, I know why I have so many plastic bins, and also I still have 2 boxes that I've been using as transfer boxes, which we'll use, which would be very helpful for smaller babes. And I was also thinking about this. We have Mofo, who is quite developed, and then we have Wi-Fi, who's doing quite well as well. There's Wi-Fi. So those 2 are much bigger than these 3. So if I get little bitty babies, then it might be more advantageous for me to put these 3 in with the bitty babies and put these 2 in a enclosure with Lateralis and Jack. These 2 birds in question here. Because Lateralis and Jack are the 2 smallest birds in this box. If I do that, it's going to leave these 3 cards to duke it out, because they do that. They do. There are kerfuffles, as you can see. There are dust-ups. We just have to fight it out on the playground sometimes. I'm, not one to interfere in these wars that we have that break out every once in a while. So I just let them fight it out. And, yeah, so these 3 right here can be a little aggressive. And so, they hold their own. Like, they really do. They're the little chicks that could. And but I do believe that they would probably benefit from being put in with some of them that are more their size, like these folks. So, and then maybe put these guys in with the little bitty babies, because the size difference is significant. I mean, you can just see those 2 right there. They're pretty different. Not too bad, but the wing development is so much farther along than that. Yeah, so something's up. Something was up with the sapphire gems, I think. I think that I think something was up with that crop. Because that was what Parable was, and these 2 just aren't growing. I don't know if it's who knows. Hard to say, but, we're going to see what we can do. Everyone have a wonderful night.